Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is Dr. Mubashira and our today's topic of discussion is diabetic nephropathy. Diabetic nephropathy is the most common cause of end-stage renal disease. It is defined as albuminuria of more than 300 mg per day on at least two occasions 3 to 6 months apart. Mostly patients develop diabetic nephropathy typically over a period of 10 years after the onset of diabetes mellitus, both type 1 and type 2, but it may present at the same time when type 2 diabetes is diagnosed. End-stage renal disease is more likely to develop in type 1 diabetic patients. Incidence of diabetic nephropathy is approximately 30%. Risk factors of diabetic nephropathy includes male gender, obesity, and family history of kidney disease. Mortality rates are higher for diabetics with kidney disease compared to those without CKD. Research has demonstrated over the last 20 years that diabetic kidney disease can be delayed and slowed with the control of glycemia and blood pressure. Now let's talk about stages of diabetic nephropathy. There are four stages. Stage 1 is hyperfiltration with increase in estimated GFR. Stage 2 includes microalbuminuria of 30 to 300 mg per day. And stage 3 is overt proteinuria of more than 300 mg per day. Stage 4 is end-stage renal disease. That's why American Diabetic Association and National Kidney Foundation recommends yearly screening for microalbuminuria for all diabetic patients to detect the disease at its earliest stage. Now let's talk about the clinical findings of diabetic nephropathy. Most common lesion in diabetic nephropathy is diffuse glomerulosclerosis. But nodular glomerulosclerosis, which is also known as Kimmel-Steele-Wilson nodules, these are pathognomic. Kidneys are usually enlarged and foot edema can occur secondary to hypoalbuminemia. Renal biopsy is usually not required in the patients of diabetic nephropathy unless there are atypical findings. Diabetic kidney disease is another terminology used for diabetic nephropathy. So, diabetic patients are prone to other renal diseases apart from diabetic nephropathy. These include papillary necrosis, chronic interstitial nephritis, and type 4 renal tubular acidosis. Diabetic patients are more susceptible to acute kidney injury from many insults, for example, IV contrast material and concomitant use of ACE inhibitors or angiotensin receptor blockers with NSAIDs. Now, let's discuss the treatment of diabetic nephropathy. With the onset of microalbuminuria, aggressive treatment is necessary. Strict glycemic control is required early in diabetic nephropathy, but as CKD becomes advanced, there is risk of hypoglycemia. Recommended blood pressure control should be achieved. 2017 guidelines from American Heart Association advise that blood pressure should be less than or equal to 130 by 80 millimeter of mercury. But in 2021, KDIGO, that is Kidney Disease Improving Global Outcome Practice Guidelines on Blood Pressure Management, and that recommended blood pressure less than 120 by 80 in diabetic patients who have CKD, regardless of the degree of albuminuria. ACE inhibitors and ARBs lower the rate of progression to overt proteinuria and slow the progression of end-stage renal disease by reducing intraglomerular pressure. Combination of ACE inhibitors and ARBs is not recommended due to lack of efficacy and increased adverse events of hyperkalemia and acute kidney injury. Monitoring for hyperkalemia or decline in estimated GFR of more than 30% within 2 weeks of initiation or up titration of ACE inhibitors or angiotensin receptor blocker is essential. If this happens, dose reduction or discontinuation of ACE inhibitor therapy may be done because of complications encountered. Newer anti-diabetic agents, for example, canagliflozin, empagliflozin, and dapagliflozin, which are SGLT2 inhibitors, linagliptin, DPP4 inhibitor, and semaglutide and liraglutide, which is GLP-1 receptor antagonist, have some role in slowing the progression of early diabetic nephropathy. SGLT2 inhibitors should not be used in advanced CKD. Diabetic kidney disease increase the risk of cardiovascular disease, for example, coronary artery disease, peripheral vascular disease, and ischemic heart disease. So, treatment of these cardiovascular risk factors and obesity is very important. Now, let's talk about the prognosis. Diabetic kidney disease who progress to end-stage renal disease, mortality over the first 5 years is high, but those patients who are relatively healthy, they benefit from renal transplantation. Thank you so much for watching. Stay blessed. Allah.